On this week's episode of Speedway the Inside Dirt, we're at the Robertson Holden International Speedway, where 20 bikes put on a show across 14 intense sidecar races for the Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecar Champs, including a final fit for a New Zealand title. Mike Wilson chats with an array of riders and swingers competing for the title. We chat with William Humphries about his new Superstock, which is the topic of many a conversation so far this season. But first, we cross to bike specialist Mike Wilson with the first of our qualifying races for the Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecar Championship.
Massive night of sidecar racing here tonight at the Robertson Holden International Speedway. It's the Ray Tarrant Memorial. 20 sidecars here to do battle for this prestigious title. And I'm right here with the defending champions Mark Y and Jacob, aka Ropes Cooper. Guys, are you feeling it?
Yes and no. I'm a little bit nervous tonight, to be honest. It's a good field of bikes here, so it's going to be a hard-fought battle to get to the end.
Jacob, you're always up for it.
Oh, mate, just send it. Just send it. Well, I mean, we've got a wicked turnout of bikes tonight. I see Puck and Bruce and all of the team have tried putting on an awesome track out there, so hopefully, fingers crossed that stays together. But, man, any one of these 22 bikes that's lined up here tonight can take it.
Tell us a little bit about Ray Tarrant. We know he was a commentator here for a long time, very well-respected person.
Yeah, and one of his sons also raced as well, so it was a bit before my era, but apparently, yeah, he got right behind the sidecar, so it was absolutely brilliant. So, yeah.
What are your chances tonight? You got those 3 qualifying heats. They're going to be really cutthroat because you've got to take away 3/4 of the field. They're going to be eliminated, and only 5 bikes will be there in that 4-lap shootout for a championship.
Yeah, I think I've got about 1 chance in 20 actually. No, it's going to be a bit of a luck out there, but we'll be pushing hard, eh? Pushing hard. It's yeah, I don't think you could pick a winner here. I think at the moment, I think it's going to be a good night.
Mate, how are you?
Good.
10 years ago you won this championship.
Yeah, I would have. Has it been that long?
2009.
Wow, yeah, it's been a long time, and I think we've run it a couple of times, and he was a really good guy, and he knew his stuff about the sidecars, so I remember him well.
What's changed since then? Maybe a few more wrinkles?
A lot of wrinkles, a lot of grey hairs, as you can see. Probably 11 bikes more bikes on the track, and and a broken femur to go with it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention that, but you did. You had a lengthy spell away from the sport. What is it about sidecars? What is it about Speedway, mate, that just people can't get it out of their blood? You're back.
Yeah, once it's in the blood, that's it. Any type of speedway, I guess. So, it was two years and 2 days to the day that we had the big spill here and broke my femur. Same meeting, Ray Tarrant Memorial. So it wasn't my year that year, and it was the final. So I don't think it's going to be my year this year either, but I just want to make sure I finish the meeting in one piece.
10, 15 years ago, you looked down the row of sidecars at a Speedway meeting. It's fair to say there was still a few old dungers around, right? That is not the case anymore. Everyone's got professional-looking bikes. The crews look professional, the riders, the swingers, everybody's just stepped it up big time.
Yep, we everybody has, and we it was about that 2005 back then when I started to build these frames. Everything sort of changed, and what happened is they couldn't beat them, they had to join them, and I've developed a couple of other things on this bike, a couple of secrets that I'm trying out tonight, and that's what you got to do, because if you build fast bikes for guys, you've got to do something to keep ahead of them, because they can ride just as fast as you, and the bike's fast, so you got to do something to keep ahead, and the age is getting older, and these younger guys are going to come up and start whipping us, so things are good, and I've still got the bug, and I haven't got time to build them anymore, but it's the way it is.
We're going to make our way towards the track. So much work has gone into this racetrack during the week. Now, the first 2 meetings of the season here, the track hasn't been at its best. The reason was we had that torrential rain for about 10 days all around the North Island, and everyone's tracks got so wet in the base, it wasn't drying out. So this track has been ripped up, the top has been taken off, it's been aerated, turned over for days on end, and now, if you come and have a look at it, it looks absolutely fantastic. I hope, and we pray, that it stays like this for the sidecars. I have heard that they're going to run them earlier in the night. That would be great. But if we have a look at this track right now, that is a world-class racetrack right there. You could run solo bikes on that track flat out, and the sidecars most certainly will go around this track fast.
Heat number 1, starting on pole position, right up against the grass on the inside. The defending champions straight up, Mark Y, Jacob Cooper. and right up against the concrete in heat number 1, the 12B of Daniel Satherley and Adrian Bogan. It's going to be interesting to see where the grip is on the racetrack at the moment. It's 5 points for a race win, 4 for second, 3 for third, 2 for fourth, 1 point for fifth place. Who's going to take the honours in this first heat race? Will it be the defending champions? Starting from that inside grid position, the championship about to go live. Wait for the starter to raise his arms when he's happy. Here we go. We're about to go green. Tapes up. Great start from the outside. Looks like Kim and Kerry Johnston. I think it's the Hawke's Bay husband and wife. The 51 bike from Ongonga. They're going to lead him down the back straight on lap number 1. The defending champions slot up there into second place. Third place is the 12 of Satherley and Bogan. Then it's Justin Lincoln. Lincoln's got a problem. He will go to the infield and only score the 1 point out of this heat race. But it's looking good for Kim and Kerry. I talked to them earlier. I said, you just need to make some starts, guys. And that's exactly what they've done here in heat number 1 as they stretch away with 1 to go. Through turn 1 and 2 onto the back straight with a big lead now over the defending champions. It's all about those qualifying points. And as they come to the line, Kim and Kerry will take the honours. Heat number 1, Mark White and Ropes will finish up in second place. Third place, Satherley and Bogan on the number 12 bike. And a fourth place, 2 points for Tim Plummer and Cameron Patterson. Heat number 2, but starting on the inside will be the 22 from Gisborne of Jason Rees and Callum Hines. And up against the wall on the concrete for the 24, Stu Sowry, Dean Harding from Palmerston North. Here we go, heat number 2 for the Ray Tarrant Memorial 2019. Zahn, the last one to slot in. I'll be interested to see what sort of a start the 97 bike makes. Mike Zahn said, I'm just feeling my way back in. He broke a femur 2 years ago. Here we go. The tapes are up and it's a pretty even start. But right around the outside for the slingshot off gate number 4, I think it's the 55 bike of Mulder and McKinley will pick it up for you as they come down the back straight. Looking fast down into 1. It is the 24 bike. 24 who slingshot around the outside. Sowry and Harding on the gas and already stretching away on this second lap. Here we go with that high line. The tree control 97 bike just wasn't quite the grip there just yet. And we're on the white flag with 1 to go. Don't give up on Mike Zahn in third place. He might just get a run around the outside. Down the back straight for the last time for the 24. Sowry and Harding are dominating this one. They are going to take the full 5 points. Second place will be the 22 bike of Rees and Hines. Third place going to the 97 of Mike Zahn and Ben Franklin. We'll just confirm who came across the line in fourth. It was, in fact, the 18 bike. The number 18 will take 2 points, Kim Heinel and Wayne Brown. And so by my reckoning, that would mean the 55 bike of Mulder and McKinley just getting the 1 point. As they come down to line up for the start for heat number 3, 39 on the inside, Buchanan and Ogilvie, and grid number 5, the 10 of West and Morton. Last bike in is the 39, Buchanan and Ogilvie. So experienced, so much Australian experience for this pairing. Here we go, the revs will come up. Heat number 3, who's going to make the start to turn 1? Again, it's the middle. Horse has made a good start, but Buchanan's done it on the inside. The 39, Buchanan and Ogilvie. First ones to make the start off the inside as they charge down this back straight in heat number 3. Horses in second place on the 17 bike. Third place is the 32 of Carter and Combs, and then it's the 27 bike of Bowler there in fourth. Well, can Horse catch Buchanan? Horse has got so much knowledge, so much track time here at Robertson Holden International Speedway. He's keeping Buchanan honest as they come down the back straight again, just slowly extending out the race lead. For the 39 bike, Buchanan out in front, Ogilvie hanging off the back. Second place is still the 17 of Hislop and Stewart. They could get 4 big points out of this. Down the back straight they go for the last time. This is how good this guy is. He's a contender tonight for sure. Heat number 3, the win will go to the 39, Buchanan and Ogilvie. Second place is the 17 of Hislop and Stewart. Third place, I think, went to Carter and Combs. And that would mean a fourth place finish of 27 of Bowler and whoever was on the back. And 1 point for the number 10 of John West and Gower Morton. This is going to be a big heat. Coming to the line now, number 8, Miller and George go from gate 1. Unfortunately, it did not start for Murray and Plummer on the 21 bike. That's the big piece of drama here in Heat 4. Here we go. Great start on the inside for Miller and George. They will lead the charge through turn number 2. Keep an eye on Russell Stewart. Russell is a throttle basher. He loves to wind it on the stopper, but so does Rob Miller out in front. Miller takes a slightly wider line, almost opens the door there for the 46, and he tries to slide right up the inside. Miller's gone wide again, side by side, down the back straight. Gladiators battling it out in the arena, Manawatu. And it's the 46 of Russell Stewart, Andrew Parker, first pass of the night. Rob Miller won't give it up. He'll chase. It's the 84 bike back there in third place. And here comes Miller down the inside. Miller trying to retake the race lead. Again, the 46 pulls away off the turn. A little bit more hook up, a little bit more horsepower perhaps for the 46 bike. But Rob Miller will keep on charging. 1 lap to go here in heat number 4. The 46 looks like they're now in charge. Russell Stewart and Andrew Parker have opened up about a 6 bike length lead over the number 8 of Miller and George as they head down the back straight for the last time. Throws it sideways into turn number 3. Parker will be having a look back. He knows they've got it done. The win for the 46. Russell Stewart, Andrew Parker. Miller and George will come home in second place. Third place points for the 84 of Jimmy Hodden and Nick Dunn. And that will mean that it will be 2 points for fourth place for the 26P of Josh Lambert, Brittany Whalens.
First round of the Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecars has been run and won. One of the bikes that won their first heat, the 51 from Hawke's Bay, Kim and Kerry Johnston. Wow, that was awesome. I told you guys could make a start.
It was pretty cool, pretty cool. Just all the ducks lined up and it happened.
Talk into your brush.
Yeah, got my brush going on, my mic brush.
Not only did you make the start, but you guys had really good pace and you rode a nice line. The track looks okay.
It does actually, it's really good at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way, which it should, all the work they've done.
Well, you can see plenty of work going on the 21 bike here of Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer. And what happened? You guys didn't even make it to the start.
No, I just think it's flooding on the line. We're having problems earlier on in the pits, and it wasn't starting, but we finally got it started. But yeah, once we sort of revved up and went to go, it said no.
You can see a lot of work going on this bike as well, down by the battery side of this number 96 bike. Mark, 4 points, second place in that first heat race for you in defence of this championship. I know you're busy.
Yeah, no, it was a good run. The bike's playing up a little bit for some reason. It's missing when we're trying to get back on the gas, so it's pushing us wide.
Russell, that was amazing.
Yeah, well, we're really happy about the first run. You know, the engines, we only started it before we put it on the trailer tonight, so yep, you can't ask for better than that, can you? She run good.
Mate, the older you get, the better you get.
Yeah, is that what it is? Well, I'm not getting any younger, so I don't know whether you're right about that.
Well, you made a stunning pass out in that race. Instead of 4 points settling for that, you made a run for it and you made the pass up the inside and took 5.
Yeah, no, and we could see that pole line was actually quicker than the outside, and down the southern end there it was marbly and really hard to get any go forward there. So yeah, we had to play cunning, and Rob went a little bit wide and we snuck underneath him, so I think we were a little bit lucky there. We caught him napping.
This Saturday night at Prestige Pools Waikaraka Family Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the Fireworks Spectacular and Demolition Derby. Support classes include super stocks, stock cars, saloons and 6-shooters. This Saturday night at Huntly International Speedway, starting at 6 p.m, is the Fireworks Spectacular and the DVS Rural Direct Super Saloon Series. Support classes include super stocks, stock cars, modifieds, F2 midgets and saloons. This Saturday night at Bay Park Speedway, starting at 7 p.m, is the Fireworks Spectacular. Support classes include super saloons, midgets, stock cars and sprint cars. This Saturday night at Eastland Group Raceway, starting at 6 p.m, is their opening meeting and Fireworks Spectacular. Support classes include super stocks, stock cars, street stocks, saloons, sidecars, 6-shooters and TQs. This Saturday night at Miani Speedway starting at 6 p.m. is the Fireworks Spectacular. Support classes include super stocks, stock cars, mini stocks, saloons, sidecars and street stocks. This Saturday night at Stratford Speedway starting at 7 p.m. is the Fireworks Spectacular and super stock best pairs. Support classes include stock cars, modifieds, midgets, street stocks and adult mini stocks. This Saturday night at Ocean View Family Speedway starting at 7 p.m. is the Club Challenge. Support classes include super stocks, stock cars, production saloons, youth and adult mini stocks.
A lot of frantic work going on in the pit area, especially with the 21 bike of Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer. Had a surging problem. They weren't able to make the start, so instead of scoring a point even for a 5th place finish, they scored a big fat 0. It is crunch time for this 21P bike for this 5th heat of the Ray Tarrant Memorial sidecars. From the inside, the 17 of Tony Hislop and Matt Stewart. They scored 4 points first time out. Grid number 3 for the 24 of Stu Sowry and Dean Harding. They won the opening heat race. Grid number 4, the defending champions, the 96 of Mark Y and Jacob Cooper, who scored 4 points. The green light is on, the starter's happy. The tapes will fly. Whoa, Murray and Plummer catch the fence. They might call this race back. Let's see what the referee makes of it, because there was a bike impeded. Yes, most certainly they will read it. Getting ready, restart time, heat number 5. Let's have a look who makes the start this time. It's from gate number 3, the 24 bike. They won heat 1. They're back out in front in the second round, and it's a side-by-side duel as they race down into turn number 3. We go red once again. Once again, they come to the line. 17, Hislop Stewart from the inside, from the 84 of Hodden and Dunn. Grid number 3 for the 24, unbeaten.
Yeah, well, looks like they're the ones they're pulled up on the infield and standing on the driver's stand. So I think they've been deemed disqualified out of that heat.
Yep, and the tragedy there is, Stu, they will score 0. Hislop made a brilliant start on that second time of asking, can he do it again here as they get ready for a start? Yes, he can. He's like lightning, but so too is Murray and Plummer. Murray and Plummer rubbing fenders as they go through turn number 2. But it's Hislop, Stewart out in front. Glenn Murray has to score this point. He has to get past. Down there on 3rd place, the defending champions. They're not going to go home easy. Mark Y and Jacob Cooper down the inside, slides it up the inside and runs them deep into turn 1 and 2. That is sidecar racing, fans. Glenn Murray's still on the gas, but he has to concede to the 96. Look at Horse out in front. He's got the smallest capacity engine, and he's showing the big boys the way home. They'll come round to get the last lap flag with 1 to go. The white is out. Mark Wise in 2nd place. Cooper sitting on the back of that bike, consolidating those points. Still 3rd place for the 21 of Murray and Plummer, but I do fear that their chances of that 5th heat race going through to the top 5, that is done for them. But not so for the 17 of Hislop and Stewart, who are going to move on to 9 points. 2nd place for the defending champions, Mark Y and Jacob Cooper, who will have 8 and keep themselves in with a chance of this championship. And 3rd place for the 84 of Hodden and Dunn. Here we go with heat number 6 from the inside. We saw that stunning pass in the first round for this pairing, the 46 of Russell Stewart and Andrew Parker. They are currently on 5 points. On grid number 4, the 22G of Jason Rees and Callum Innes on 4 points. Here we go. Great start for Kim and Kerry, and they chop the nose off. That's what you got to do, race fans. You've got to be aggressive down into turn number 1. That's Kim and Kerry Johnston in the lead, but they've got one of the oldest and hardest chargers in sidecar racing chasing them down now in 2nd place. Kim's just got to hang on that pole line. He's got to make Russell work hard and try and find something out wide. Russell said it's like marbles out there in turn 1 and 2. If Kim can stay down low, keep the grip on the back tyre of that 51, they could bring this one home. We go a little ways back to 3rd place for the 22 bike. But now Russell Stewart starting to close up. Stewart and Parker, they never give up. It is not over until it's over for that pairing. As they close in once again on Kim and Kerry Johnston, the husband and wife team working great. She had a brush in her hand after that first race. She was cleaning the bike. I said, why don't you get Kim to do it? She goes, I'm a good wife. And she's hanging off the back of this bike right now as they lead the charge with 1 to go. Can the 51 of Kim and Kerry Johnston bring it home? Russell Stewart, Andy Parker chasing hard in second place. They'll keep the fight going down into turns 3 and 4, but it could be 2 wins from 2 starts. For the 51, the McIntyre bike, Kim and Kerry Johnston are unbeaten after 2 heat race wins. 46, Russell Stewart, Andy Parker will finish up with 4 points for second. Third place will go to the 22 of Rees and Innes. And 2 points for the number 10 of West and Morton. Heat number 7, gate number 4 for the 39 from Christchurch. Andrew Buchanan and Bailey Ogilvie, 5 points. So just the 4 bikes out on the racetrack. Gap on grid number 2, I would say that was the 55 bike should be there. Mulder and McKinley. Great start from the outside. Buchanan was like lightning off the gate. That was class, absolute class. And look at the lead that they've already got as they head down the back straight on lap number 1. Buchanan and Ogilvie out in front. Second place, 71 of Plummer and Patterson. Wow, Buchanan's gone. Buchanan extending out his race lead with 1 lap to go. He's a quarter of a lap out in front. Still someone's popping and banging out there. And we have lost another bike as they've headed infield. So it'll be no points for that bike with the DNF. But it's not a problem for Buchanan and Ogilvie, who also go unbeaten on 10 points. Who's going to get the run for second place? As they come to the line, it's going to be the 71 bike of Plummer and Patterson that take 4 points. So it was a DNF in that race, I think, for the 18 bike of Heinel and Brown. So they'll score 0. And I'll try and pick up the other bike for you.
We got the 39, the 71.
Yeah, it was the third place that was a little hard to see. So
it'd be the 26. Is that Josh Lambert, the 26 bike?
Yep, it was the 26. So they will score 3 points for that one. Right, here we go into heat number 8, starting from the inside. Former champion of this event 10 years ago, the 97 of Mike Zahn and Ben Franklin. They currently have 3 points. Grid number 4 for the number 8 bike, Rob Miller and Red George, currently on 4 points. Here we go, getting ready for a start. Heat number 8. Great start from grid 3. That's the 12 of Satherley and Bogan. Could we have an upset here? Rob Miller on the outside, currently in second place as they dive down into turn number 3. Miller up the inside. Beautiful pass by Miller and George. Mike Zahn's going to look to do the same. That looks like the 27 of Craig Bowler. Look at them as they go 2 wide up through turns 1 and 2. Zahn goes through for second place now. Rob Miller, Red George out in front. Well, we've seen plenty of passing early on in this heat race. Miller and George going to try and kick on for home. Bowler's trying to go around the outside of the 8. Who is out there in this one is the 12 bike, trying to go around the outside of Satherley and Bogan. And they go side by side, and I think Bowler might have finally got the job done. White flag about to come out for the number 8 of Miller and George. Could put them on a big handy 9 points. And you couldn't discount Mike Zahn out of a top 5 just yet either. He might just move on to 7 after this heat race. Down the back straight for the last time. It's a come from behind victory for the number 8 from Palmerston North. Rob Miller, Red George. Second place will go to the 97 of Mike Zahn. And Ben Franklin, third place across the line for Craig Bowler on the 27.
Right, 2 rounds of the Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecars run for qualifying. Still unbeaten at this stage, the 39C Andrew Buchanan, Bailey Ogilvie, you made it hard in that last one though.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Didn't exactly go to plan, but we're just out there having fun. It's been a while since I've raced on clay, so trying to get the setup right is totally different. So, and it's a confidence thing, clay? It's a real big confidence thing. So, yeah, enjoying it, see how we go.
You do so much racing on purpose-built speedways in Australia.
Yep.
Tell me, what are 2 or 3 major setup changes that you have to make to adapt back to clay?
Oh, the first one is the back wheel. You've got to go to a radial, so that's a 17-inch, or we're trying something new like the American flat trackers do. And the other one is most probably we set the whole front end up totally different. So that's a bit of a learning curve to me because I run a different front end to the twin shocks. I run a single shock mountain bike. Then it's a lot more throttle control on the clay, you know, you just can't whip it on because she bites too much in wheel stand. So a lot of throttle control and working that clutch off the start line, they're the main things, you know.
Interesting 3 starts in that one. What happened in one of those?
Oh, the first one, we both wheel stood, us and Glenn, and he clipped the wall and come down on us, and yeah, that was one of them. And then I think these guys touched the tapes or moved, so yeah, third one we got away.
Ropes, it looked like you were trying to pull the cover off the wheel.
Oh yeah, no, the side fairing, when Glenn tagged us in the first start, it punched the side fairing up and it come off its clips, so it was just sitting there rattling, so I didn't want to go out and cut 4 laps with it like it in case it went flying off. So more just a safety thing, quickly trying to get it back on. But I was loving it, man. I got a couple of practice starts and the old front wheel popped up, but I was stoked. The bike's pulling straight when it's popping a wheel stand, so it's cool. Like between throttle control and a little bit of leaning on the big guy, we're managing to tame it, but it's just we're more stoked that it's pulling in a straight line when it does go up. So,
mate, you guys are on it. You got 9 points. You're doing it.
Yeah, no, it's bloody good. Having a good ball out there. Track's good for a change, so it makes good competition.
What's it like down at turn 1 and 2? Is it getting a little bit dicey down around mid-track?
No, I think it's pretty good. It's actually better than 3 and 4, I reckon. So, we'll be right.
You guys would just ride through it anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, that's the plan anyway. Yeah, go out wide, just see what happens. Just hang on, really.
As most of you know, William debuted the car over the weekend at Palmy Speedway and became the man of a bit of controversy, almost breaking the internet. And so we thought we'd come and catch up with William. To start with, I guess, what was the need for a new car this season?
My old car, that chassis was 10 years old now. It was Dad's old one. And then I shortened it 45 mil at Team Champs this year. So yeah, it needs a bit of work. So I was either fix that or build a new one. And I don't like cutting stuff up, so it's easier to go new. Even last couple of years, just been thinking of what I can do that, you know, build something that looks different to anything else. And yeah, then once we decided, I need a new car, I just went home, pretty much got the crayons out and just started scribbling around and come up with this sketch. This is just something I've kind of worked out in my head, and in my head it all works, so no reason it won't work on the track.
Right, let's get into the controversy side of things, mate. You raced Saturday night in Palmy, 2nd November, and you got green sheeted that morning, yeah?
Yeah, we got green sheeted that morning, so that was okay. Yeah, we got screwed and aired, and everyone seemed to be pretty happy at that point, and we got out there for race 1, and it was good. I was after, then got out for the second race and come down to the pits, and it seemed everyone had changed. A lot of the officials had changed their mind, or they'd seen it pop up on the internet or whatever. And so what they've done is they've issued me an impound notice for the car, and put those tags on there, obviously, so I can't go cut it up before they come inspect it, because they're going to come inspect it and make a call on, whatever their decision is we have to go by, I guess. But in my eyes, it's legal, and according to the rule book, how I read, is legal. Something different happens each time, something different comes out. Same thing with Rees and all that, they brought out these different cars, and there was a lot of stink when those come out, and now they're all good and everyone loves them.
Okay, so these bars here, essentially, it's one big bar, isn't it? Starts at this point here, straight up, round the back, and comes back down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one piece the whole way around the back of the car. So yeah, it's not an extra welded on piece at the front, it's the actual roll cage starting there. Like I've had engineers reports done on it, and it actually comes in at least 4 times stronger than a normal roll cage. So I feel pretty comfortable sitting in this car at the moment. It's definitely, according to the computer results, it's definitely a lot stronger. But the main thing with that I thought was, we're racing that many cars now, and everyone's that quick. You get up, put up on your side, there's not much time, someone hits the back of your roll cage, they come forward pretty easy, because the current design, there's no bracing whatsoever for forward and back movement. The way I've done the back's got a lot more clearance between the back of the roll cage and my head than a normal one, and then obviously these front bars, the roll cage finishing a lot further forward than normal, was creating more of an angle. Also protects all the carburetor too, stops the car coming through your carburetor, making fuel go everywhere.
I was going to say, next thing there's fuel everywhere. Yep.
So
everyone's buzzing about this on the bumper too, this hard facing. You've had that on quite a few cars, really, haven't you?
yeah, well, it just stops you wearing your bumper corners out, and otherwise you go around the wall once and the bumper corner's completely gone. So yeah, we just put a bit of hard facing weld on the corner, and that stuff handles them in rock buckets at quarries. So I'm sure it will handle us scraping around the wall and just saves everything.
And the choice to go with no body, easy choice, or just, what's the go there?
I just went with that look of my sketch that I drew originally.
To be fair, I mean, the panels, because they're carbon fibre panels, aren't they?
Yeah, it's all full carbon fibre the whole way around, all the side panels and everything apart from the bonnet. There's been a bit of talk about this front panel, but that's all it is a front panel.
Oh, exactly right. It's
there's no airfoil in there. It's got a back on it.
It's looking pretty mounted to the actual chassis. There's no stays underneath it. No advantage or disadvantage like a wing would probably be, I guess.
Just a good spot to put some sponsors, really.
That's it, hey. That's it. On that note, you probably want to thank a few sponsors and a few people too.
Yeah, just all my crew, all my sponsors. Everyone who's helped out over the build, and yeah, we couldn't have done it without you guys, and yeah, it was good to get it there, and yeah, pretty stoked.
We've covered off a bit about that cage and the I guess the saga there, and it's good to, I guess, get your side of the story and clear that up, because I know a lot of people are talking about it.
Here we go, race fans. Heat number 9, grid number 2 for the 96 defending champions, Mark White, Jacob Cooper on 8. Grid number 4, the number 46 of Russell Stewart and Andrew Parker on 9 points. Remember, at the end of these 3 races for each of these competitors, it is possible that we will have a race off for those final places. Here we go, getting ready for a start this time. The lights go green. Who's going to make the start? Keep an eye on the outside. Great start from the 96 though, down the inside. They catch the pole line, throw the dust. Look at Russell Stewart. He is right out there. No one's gone that wide. I thought he was going to pack and save. He's that far out. Down into turn number 3, side by side, Russell Stewart, Andrew Parker. Here comes Mark White back up the inside. They got the drive. Ropes was hanging off the back of the 96 bike, and he's got maximum drive on that rear tyre. Look how much they get Russell Stewart and Andy Parker. You don't see that happen too often. This is a must win. They know it. They need it. The pack and save Gizzy 96 bike. 2 laps in, 2 to go. They're a little tight down into turn 1. This is where they've got to be careful that they don't just overthink this race. Russell Stewart's still right in the high line, but he's losing a little bit of ground here in second place. He is so fast down into turn number 3. 1 to go. The white flag is out. Is this a qualification race for the defending champions? We won't know till the official points come through. Look at Russell Stewart. He caught a little bit of a rut there on the entry to turn 1. And as they come down the back straight, the 96 of White and Ropes are going to bring it home, and we'll move on to 13 points. Second place for the 46, Russell Stewart, Andrew Parker, and guess what? 13 points. Like I said, we could have a race off just to determine our top 5 qualifiers. So it was the 32 bike, is that correct? That finished up in 3rd place. Yep. And we'll score 3 points.
Then we go back to the 26.
And then the 26 bike for 2 points. Righto, here we go. Heat number 10. Grid number 2 for the 22 of Rees and Innes on 7. They still have a chance of qualification. Grid number 4 for the 71 of Tim Plummer and Cameron Patterson, who have 6 points. They still have an outside chance, albeit a very slight one. All right, let's see if we can get a clean start this time. Can the 22 bike win it and move on to 12? The green is on. The starter will move away.
That was a much better start.
Bowler makes a good start, but so too is the 12 of Satherley and Bogan.
Look at this. Rees and Innes dropped right to the rear of the field on this start.
Yeah, this is not looking good for them. This could be qualification over, and it is a major upset as the 2 more unfancied bikes run 1 and 2. Bowler wants to go out with a race win. He drifts it right out into the dirt, but Satherley covers the line. Bogan hanging off the back, getting close attention from the 27 of Bowler as they dive down into 3, coming through now for 3rd place, but I don't think it'll be enough for the 22G. Reason Innes, I think it's game over for them. Look at Bowler now, still working that high line. Satherley and Bogan on the inside. Bowler winds it up. This is arguably the fastest sidecar in New Zealand at the moment. He's still trying to get the handling sorted out on this 27. He now dives to the inside. Almost rubs the back of the leathers there on the 12 swinger as they charge up into turn number 1. Bowler's going to have to drift it right out wide. This is Gladiator racing.
Made contact.
Yeah, they did make contact, but it was the 12 of Satherley and Bogan that drifted high up onto the racetrack to make that contact. Coming through to take the race win, to go through with another 5 points. Well, that'll put them on 10. Bowler taking the win. That was a good ride for him. Exciting race with the 12 of Satherley and Bogan in second place. Third place will go to the 22. It's night over, I think, for the 22 of Reason Innes. And that will mean then in fourth place, it would be the 71 of Plummer and Patterson, only scoring 2 points, and it's night over for them also. Now we go to heat number 11. From grid 2, the unbeaten number 39 from Christchurch, Andrew Buchanan and Bailey Ogilvie. Grid number 4, 97 from Palmerston North, Mike Zahn, Ben Franklin. They have 7 points and an outside chance of making the main event. Keep an eye on the 2 bikes in the middle of the grids. Great start again for the 39, but he's going to get muscled out by the 24. Buchanan's had to go the high line. It's the 24 bike of Sowry and Harding that lead him down the back straight. Well, the 39 of Buchanan knows a second place will be enough, and he said off camera early on that he was just going to try a few things. If he was behind and he still had the points he needed, he was going to try the track, but he's tried it too deep. He's lost another spot as they head down the back straight. Mike Zahn's slot up the inside now for second place. This will be a little bit desperate now for the 39. He's going to want to try and get that second place back because second place is better than third. As they lead down the back straight into turn number 3, where the white flag will come out with 1 to go. Mike Zahn is on the gas in second place. Don't discount him. He's got a fast bike. He's closing in on the 24. The 24 bobbled a little bit into turn number 1. And now as they come down the back straight, Mike Zahn's going to absolutely wind it off the stopper. Tries to slot back up the inside. Has the 24 of Sowry and Harding done enough? You bet they have. They will win heat number 11.
Well, Mike, you said an upset, but I don't think that's an upset. We saw how good they were winning their first race. Unlucky to be disqualified from their second, and they came out and they showed they can still front it with the big boys winning that last race. Very unlucky not to qualify, Stu Sowry and Dean Harding.
As we look now to heat number 12, the final qualifying race, unless there is the need of a qualifying points tie shootout. Heat number 12 on grid number 2, the number 8 of Rob Miller and Red George on 9. One of the top scorers through the first 2 rounds on grid number 4, the 17 of Hislop and Stewart, 9 points. And on grid number 5, the second of our unbeaten bikes coming into this third round, the 51 of Kim and Kerry Johnston on 10. Big heat, the biggest heat of the night so far.
This heat is really going to help out the 46 and the 96 bike, both on 13 points.
Coming into line last, right on the outside, 51. Kim and Kerry Johnston. Can he work his magic off the start once again? Right next to him, the 17 of Horse and Stewart. Great start on the outside. Let's have a look how they stack up into turn number 1. It is the 8 bike of Miller and George as they charge down the back straight. Rob Miller, Red George, taking control with Hislop and Stewart in second place. Oh, a DNF. Looks like Heinel and Brown popping and banging. That could be a crucial point for the Johnstons who've come through for third. White flag getting ready. No one challenging Rob Miller and Red George right now. They are absolutely in a class of their own in this race. Whoa, big pop. Oh no, Horse. Has he blown a motor? Or was it a tyre? I don't know. It's still going fast. He's still on the gas, but what was that sound? We saw the smoke. It's going to be a win for Miller and George. Storming away with heat 12. Second place is Hislop and Stewart for a vital 4 points. And third place, also vital 3 points, Kim and Kerry Johnston.
Well, just when you thought that this championship couldn't get any tighter, well, it has. We only have one clear-cut qualifier after the 3 rounds so far, and that's the 8P bike of Rob Miller and Red George, who finished on 14 points. So only dropped 1 point. The interesting thing, there's 5 bikes tied on 13 points, but only 4 of them can go through to the final. So we're going to have a 5-bike race-off to determine 4 places. You don't want to finish last in that one.
This Saturday night at Eastern State Speedway, starting at 6 p.m, is the Stock Car Battle of the Vines, Round 1. Support classes include stock cars, youth mini stocks, street stocks, sidecars and production saloons. This Saturday night at Woodford Glen Speedway, starting at 6:30 p.m, is the Canterbury Demolition Derby Team Champs in the Mainland Modified Series. Support classes include stock cars, super stocks, saloons, youth mini stocks and production saloons. This Saturday night at the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge, Ruapuna Speedway, starting at 6 p.m, is opening night and the VINZ Sprint Car Summer Slam. Support classes include midgets, 6-shooters, TQs, modified sprints and quarter midgets. This Saturday afternoon at Central Motor Speedway, starting at 4 p.m, is the Ron Spriggs Memorial Meeting, featuring classes including sprint cars, super saloons, 6-shooters, saloons, production saloons and youth mini stocks. This Saturday night at the Rock Beachland Speedway, starting at 6 p.m, is this fireworks extravaganza and Otago Champs, featuring street stocks and production saloons. This Saturday afternoon at Areti Park Speedway, starting at 3 p.m, is the Brian Reed Solo and Peter Blick Sidecar Memorials.
You look at the lineup, they're all 5 quality bikes. This could so easily be the final. And you look through them and you try and figure out which one of those 5 is going to miss out. It's impossible to know. 4 laps to decide the next 4 qualifiers. From gate number 1, the 17 of Tony Hislop and Matt Stewart. Gate number 2, defending champions 96 Mark Y, Jacob Cooper. Gate number 3, the 39 from Christchurch, Andrew Buchanan and Bailey Ogilvie. Gate number 4, 46, Russell Stewart and Andrew Parker. And gate number 5, up against the concrete, for the husband and wife team from Hawke's Bay, the 51 of Kim and Kerry Johnston. 5 bikes, 4 laps. 4 bikes go through to the final of the Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecars, where it is just one race to determine the podium. Here we go. Oh, jumping the start, the 51. Might be penalised for it. We've gone red and we've got a bike up against the fence. I think that was Horse on the 17. Is it Ropes? Is it the 96?
So there we go. They've been excluded. The 51 bike.
Yep, done. That takes a bit of the drama out of it. Unfortunately, Kim and Kerry Johnston, who started out so well early on tonight with 2 straight race wins, are going to have to park it up on the grass. It's just a formality now, unfortunately, but you will still want a race win to carry that confidence over through to the final, because there's 3 more of your competitors right there, right round the outside. I think it's the 39 of Buchanan. Look how fast that bike just lights up. He will lead the charge down into turn number 2, 3, and through 4 to complete lap number 1. Russell Stewart, Andy Parker in second place. Third place is the 17 of Hislop and Stewart. And just out the back, perhaps just circulating now, the defending champs of Y and Cooper, knowing that they're in the show. Closing in, Russell Stewart on the 46. They're all hugging that pole line. 2 laps in, 2 to go. Oh, Buchanan misses the turn, just drifts out a little bit wide. Russell Stewart doesn't need to be told twice.
Oh,
contact!
Contact with the 17 bike.
Wow. Let's hope the swing is okay. That was hard
Stewart
contact
down
into
turn
the wall.
number 2.
Hard contact. And they might just declare this a result. Wait and see what the referee makes of it. The swinger looks like he's going to get up on his feet. Does some push-ups, race fans. I told you they're tough, and a bit of break dancing. And fortunately, nothing broken. But anyway, they'll probably most likely declare that a result. And we will still have our 4 qualifiers from this one. The 17 of Hislop and Stewart will go through. The 96 of Y and Cooper. The 39 of Buchanan and Ogilvie. The 46 of Stewart and Parker, alongside the top qualifier, the man who's just been watching all of this unfold, the number 8 of Rob Miller and Red George.
Jacob Cooper. Mate, I don't think I've ever seen a sidecar passenger fall off, lay on the track and then get up and do press-ups.
Yeah, shit, not ideal, eh? I done well the first time when we spun out in the top corner. I was like, yeah, nah, I've never let a bike go round and I'm not doing it this time, so I climbed off and I saved him and I screamed in while I was there. I was like, told you I'd save you. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there, but that man, I don't know whether it was the dirt or the concrete wall that hit my head, but didn't feel good. But hey, you got to let the crowd know that you're up and mobile and all okay, eh, somehow. And you all know I'm a bit of a show pony, so got to do something for the crowd to make them laugh, eh? Hey, a big shout out to Puck and Bruce Robinson and everything for the track that they've put on to have a massive turnaround like they did from the last weekend's racing. Top effort to Robinson Holden International Speedway for that. And also just a quick little shout out to our sponsors and everything that have got us here and got our new cool craft looking awesome. Pack and Save Gizzy, massive shout out to you guys. DMR Recycling and City Honda, massive thanks to you all.
There we go, race fans. This is what it all comes down to. 4 laps, 5 bikes to determine the 2019-20 Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecar Champions. From the inside, the 46 of Russell Stewart and Andrew Parker. Gate number 2, the top qualifiers, Rob Miller and Red George. Grid number 3, the 39 from Christchurch, Buchanan and Ogilvie. Grid number 4, the 17 of Hislop and Stewart. And the big news on grid number 5, normally riding their 96 bike, which was damaged in that shootout earlier on, had damage to the subframe on the outside that holds the third wheel. So I told you they were a great community sidecar races. The 21 team of Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer stepped up and said, you can use our bike. So the defending champions riding the number 21 machine. Can they do it again? 2 in a row. Can Mark Y, aka YY and Ropes, make it 4 championships for Mark Y. Let's have a look. The starter looks happy. The green light is on. He raises his hands. The tapes go up. Great start for the 17, but also down the inside, the 46 bike. But fighting their way through on the inside. Let's have a look as they come down the back straight. This is it, the top 5. And it is the number 8 of Miller and George out in front. Stewart and Parker in second place. Third place on the 21, a bike they haven't ridden before. Could be a podium shot though for the 96 crew. But out in front, top qualifier, and out in front leading this final for the Ray Tarrant Memorial. Working hard on the outside, trying to find something, is the 46 team. Third place is still the 21 bike of Mark Y and Jacob Cooper. It's going to be a did not finish for the 39 bike as Rob Miller continues to stretch away. Buchanan's done. His night started so good and it's not going to finish well. And we've got 1 lap to go and it's a runaway out in front at the moment for the 8 bike. Rob Miller and Red George, if they carry this form through to January, they'll be definite contenders for a national championship on their home track. And here we go, the Ray Tarrant Memorial champions. The salute as they cross the line for Rob Miller, Red George. Second place for the 46 of Russell Stewart and Andrew Parker. And a brilliant defence on a bike they've never ridden before in third place. And Ropes is really happy about it. This guy's been running on adrenaline all night. Mark Y, Jacob Cooper finishing up in third place on the podium. Give them a massive round of applause, race fans. These guys have raced their hearts out for you tonight.
I don't know if Video Hub we've got to have the replay of that, but the start of that race, we actually almost lost the swinger of the 46 bike coming out of turn 2. That's how close it got right on the first lap.
Tell you, 5 bikes gets very tight on a narrow racetrack like this. The faster you go around this track, the narrower it is. So give them a salute, ladies and gentlemen. They are the modern-day gladiators of Speedway racing, the riders and swingers on their chariots.
Well, I tell you what, it was fireworks on the track, and it's fireworks here at the Robertson Holden International Speedway as well. And that final went off, and we have our Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecar winners, Rob Miller and Red George. How good does it feel?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. First time
come
we've
on,
done
talk it up!
Oh, it doesn't mean. It's just we did it after last season's troubles. Yeah.
Amazing start, guys. You just ran away with it. 5 of the best bikes in the country, to be fair. 20 bikes, came down to 5, came down to 1, and it was you guys.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it was good. I like the competition out there. Unreal.
This bodes well for January. Home track advantage for you guys, perhaps, at that national championship. Don't want to talk you up real early, but you're carrying some good form.
Yeah, and the practice we did the other day, we've found our lines around there pretty much. So we know that track inside and out. People know. So no, anyone's beatable on the day of the way. Yeah, everyone knows that. But this is a good start to it. You know, good confidence boost, especially after last season. And yeah, pretty stoked to be honest.
Oh, well, you can hear the fireworks going off. It's all for you guys. You are the 2019-2020 Ray Tarrant Memorial Sidecar Champions in one of the toughest fields I've seen for a long time. Well done.
Cheers, Mike.
Cheers, Mike.